All work and no play makes Michael a dull boy. Repeat 1,000 different times, rewrite 1,000 different ways, and create a screenplay that is 30 minutes long.
That took Jack Torrance from The Shining all winter to write that much.
A few weeks ago, Sarah asked me to come up with something for the monthly meeting for a new section called I Spy. Now, this would be something that I'm working on, or possibly a cool new trend, or some kind of photo equipment that I'm bringing into it, or possibly an artist that inspires me. And she really kind of left it open, which is a lot of fun. So the first thing I started thinking of was, well, AI, because that's something that we're all working on. It's a little bit terrifying, but it's amazingly creative. And when you embrace it as a partner rather than an adversary, you can really grow and make some amazing content. Now, I started thinking about it, and one of my heroes is Stanley Kubrick. He was one of the most disruptive directors in all of cinematic history. He came up with movies such as The Shining, Clockwork Orange, Dr. Strangelove, and of course, 2001: A Space Odyssey. And I thought, well, what would his take really be on how we are combining our efforts with machine and man? And of course, he did that back in the early 70s. I originally studied him about 30 years ago because of his lighting, his ability to tell a story, as well as his composition. He made amazing gains for all of us in the industry. Kubrick imagined what it would be like if AI could think, speak, emote, and even rebel. How it became a symbol of fear that the machines could actually outgrow us.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
But Kubrick wasn't necessarily warning us about AI. What he was doing was inviting us to think about how we are going to be able to use AI and maybe a safer way to do it. Today we've reached that moment. AI can write, draw, it can create code, and it of course can create photographs without a camera, which can be terrifying at times. But it's something we can't control, but what can we control? Well, we can control how we collaborate with it. And there's no need to fear it as long as we remain curious, conscious, and in control. So now I'm going to let my little AI buddies that I created tell the rest of the story.
I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about something that's been inspiring me lately, not just as a trend,
but as a shift in how we think about creativity and collaboration. It's the rise of human-AI creative partnerships.
We've all seen AI-generated images, videos, even music. And while it's easy to brush off some of it as novelty,
or even threat, I think there's something much more interesting and more empowering.
What I'm seeing is a shift from AI as a tool to AI as a creative collaborator. Artists, writers,
designers, and coders, they're not just using AI to save time. They're using it to stretch their imagination, to brainstorm at scale.
It allows us to break creative blocks in ways that weren't possible before.
A great example is the filmmaker Paul Trillo, who's been creating short films with the help of generative AI tools. He's not replacing the storytelling process, he's expanding it. AI becomes a visual sketch pad, a concept builder. It allows him to iterate faster and dream weirder, and that's where the magic is.
It's not just artists either. Brands are catching on. Coca-Cola launched Create Real Magic, a platform where fans could remix Coke assets using AI tools like DALL-E and GPT. Instead of marketing to people, they're co-creating with them. That's a big shift and a very scary real one for most of us.
Now, obviously, this brings up questions about originality, authorship, ethics.
They're worth wrestling with, because on the other side is something that feels really exciting.
I advocate for a more inclusive, experimental, and playful creative landscape.
So whether you're building a product, designing a campaign, photographing a candle,
I'd encourage you to think of AI not just as a productivity tool, but as a creative partner.
Try that new software!
Play with the weird ideas. Let the algorithm throw something unexpected at you and see where it takes you.
Because creativity is no longer a solo act. It's a jam session. And now we've got a very strange, very powerful bandmate.
Thank you, Judy.